You were kind of taking everything in, being new to the program. Now you're kind of one of the guys that everybody looks towards. Just the excitement level you have, VD, knowing that you're kind of one of the main leaders for the team.
Yes, sir. I look at myself as in that role, even last year, but just this year, just taking on them new guys that came in and just leading them. It's been fun for me.
What's been the best part of the off season, just in terms of you? Where do you feel you've grown the most?
Just as you was just saying, as a leader, really, we had 3, 4 new guys that came in. And I feel like I gelled with those guys perfectly, So just coming in with those guys, the guys that we had last year, just building that receiver room and making it mine.
It didn't matter who it was who I ran into in the hallway. One of the rooms that stood out in the offseason, everybody has pointed to, is your guys' room, the receivers' room. What is it about that room right now, VD, that there seems to be some good energy, some good athleticism, good everything about it?
We talented. Everyone has been a guy at their schools, and we just coming back and coming in together, play with a lot of speed, a lot of talent, physicality. We just have, different type of receivers, and we were looking to succeed.
Look, last year was last year. You got to move on and be even better. But from an offensive standpoint, where do you want to see the unit, that group, that side of the ball grow from a year ago?
Just staying consistent. I feel like last year we had games where, we were on. We had games where we were off. Just really staying consistent. We have our goals that we have set for as a team, but, putting up 30, 35 points a game, just staying consistent every week, and that's the goal.
This may be a really silly question, so forgive me, but how much is that set with you, knowing that you guys weren't consistent enough a year ago? Like, has that weighed on you this offseason to be a bigger drive to make this year a little bit more successful from an offensive standpoint?
Most definitely, because even starting the season last year, just say coming off Austin P, he was hitting, and we'll get to a week where NIU we didn't have success too much. Then we'll get back SEMO the next weekend. We have another big week. So just being able to stay consistent, just keeping that same drive and not forgetting that feeling that we had last year after Idaho game, just keeping that on the back of our minds.
Everybody has talked about just that sick feeling of how it ended last year. But no, you don't get to pick up where you left off. You really have to restart now as a new team this year. Where is the confidence just in terms of that, VD, of just being around this group, seeing what you guys have done in the spring into the summer and now here early in the fall, of having that confidence where you guys can accomplish even more than what you did last year?
Just the guys that's been here before, even the transfer guys that's great that's coming in, but from the guys that's last year, like just saying that Idaho game, there was plenty of plays where we know we should have made, stuff that happened that, that we could have controlled. So it's not really just us being or them being the better team, it's controlling what we could control and being able to close out those tough games.
Your guy gets utilized in many different ways. Why I alluded to that is also special teams in the return game. Is that an area where you focused on this offseason to maybe be a bigger impact guy in those areas for this group?
Yes, sir. Even last year on some return plays, I feel like I could have broke one. I could have broke 1 or 2 here and there. Even on, say, on offense, certain plays where I feel like I just, as a playmaker, I need to make those plays. So going into this season, that's definitely a goal of mine to make those 1 missed tackles and make them touchdowns.
The noise on the outside is always going to be quarterback, who's going to be the quarterback. But regardless of who ends up taking the first snap at BYU, it takes a team. It takes everybody. It takes a group. Guys go down, get hurt throughout a year. Coach Hill made that message to you guys tonight. What is about the quarterback room, and specifically DJ and Hunter, that whoever's throwing to you, you have the utmost confidence in it?
Yeah, so both of those guys, they work real hard. They talented, and they both leaders. And if you see them guys around, like, they're always together. So it's not like they're going to start problems with each other, whoever gets the starting job. I've heard things like you might play both of them, however it goes. And as a receiver room, like, we're not saying, okay, this one needs to play, that one needs to play. It's just, just going with the flow, and however it goes, we'll be fine.
And to say that point, to kind of back you up, Vince, I'm sure you've been a part of those teams where that has happened, where it can really divide the team. And maybe it does kind of repeat what you just said, but what is it about those guys that, regardless of what happens, both play, one plays more than the other, that it's not going to divide anybody?
I feel like they're genuine guys. Like, at the end of the day, we just want to win games. Like, you have talent in both guys, and, it's not no jealousy thing. It's just, we coming together as a team. So whoever gives us the best shot in this moment on this play, that's the guy that's going to play.
All right, you're one of the main leaders, Vincent. So what's your message to those guys here in the early days of camp, where obviously it's extremely hot outside dealing with all those conditions, but just making sure that you guys maximize each and every day possible, because you're a month away from kicking this thing off?
Same thing I repeated to the receivers just now is like, we're a month away, like you said. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect today, so we just got to come to work every day, just keep stacking days, and eventually the finished product is going to be what it is.